What is up, guys? Welcome back to RT2, and in today's video we're unboxing my new editing computer, a 2010 Apple Mac Pro. I've always wanted one of these for years now. I used to want to build a gaming rig out of a Power Mac G5 case, which looks essentially the same as my Mac Pro I have in this box. I bought it sight unseen. I have no idea what it looks like on the outside. Apparently it has a few scratches and scuffs, which is fine. It's a 9-year-old desktop, and I expected to have a little bit of wear on it. It's got a 3.2 gigahertz Xeon processor with a ACI Radeon 5770, so obviously the CPU side's great, but the GPU side, it's hot garbage. It's a 1 gig card. So I'd have a few plans with this thing. I'm probably going to put a higher-end graphics card in it, boot camp Windows on it, and we're going to have a pretty stout computer, but I'm primarily going to be using this as an editing rig, so don't expect me to be gaming on this too much. My games will probably still be ran on my ROG laptop. So anyway, I'm very anxious about this because, again, it's sight unseen. It was a $385 purchase. It does come with hard drives, so it is running Mac OS High Sierra. So I guess we're going to lay the box down and we're going to crack it open. I'm going to lay it down nice and softly here. So I've just gotten back from my Florida trip, which is why I haven't uploaded on this channel at all during the week. Let's see this thing. I've been waiting for one of these for years now. I'm just gonna kind of chop it at the ends here so I can get a better angle with it. I'm using a house key, so it's not like the best thing in the world to use cutting, but it does indeed get the job done, in case you were wondering. So I'm gonna have to do some cutting here. I would use my car keys, but I kind of converted my truck to push button start. If you're not subscribed to my main channel where I do all my car stuff, then obviously you guys probably didn't know that. Alright, here we go. Okay, so holy crap, there's so much plastic crap in here. Okay, so first things first, we do have a generic power cable. This is not a Apple branded cable by any means. So we got like this old positive feedback paper thing. Keep in mind also this computer is 100% refurbished. So we also have the power cable, which is white, which is great because I actually was afraid of having a black power cable. I wanted a white Apple cable. This is a generic brand. It's not official Apple or anything, but it looks good. It looks kind of like one. Okay, so what else is included here? The Mac is absolutely massive. Sheesh. I knew these computers were a little on the big side, but I didn't realize how big these things actually are. This is my first time seeing one of these in person. So this is a 5.1 system as well, so it is natively supported by Apple as long as you upgrade that graphics card like I was saying earlier. So we have one more piece of styrofoam or packing thing, and our Mac Pro will be out and ready to go. Oh crap, it is so heavy. They did a really good job packaging it though, which I'm very happy to see. I was very afraid of it coming damaged, and from what it looks like so far, it's in fantastic condition. So it does have a couple scratches on it, but oh, yeah, this thing's heavy. Yeah, now you guys can actually see me, but that is a heavy computer. I've handled a few desktop towers in my day, and that is by far the heaviest one I've ever lifted. So I've never had a computer actually hurt me. So I'll throw this box over here in the corner. That's how we do it on RT2. We just throw stuff because it's the most efficient way to get everything done. Okay, so this is it. I'm gonna slide it back so you guys can actually see this thing in all of its ginormous glory. I really didn't think that it would be this big. So they did a really good job of packaging it, like I said, you guys can see it right now. But they've pretty much cardboarded up everything that had a risk of getting damaged on the way. So all the top handles and stuff like that. But it's a beautiful computer, and I'm so happy with it. I mean, I haven't even booted it up yet, and I'm already liking it. It is absolutely huge. So I'm gonna go ahead. We can get a real look at it once I get all this cardboard out. All right, slide these out. Come on. Yeah, there we go. So this is it. 5.1 Apple Mac Pro. Big computer. 58 pounds of metal in this thing. So one thing I'm curious of, so as I was saying, the body is is pretty good shape. It's only got a couple little scuffs up here towards the top, which in all reality, I'm not even mad about because it's not even that bad. So everything's in working order. Doors feel good on the drives. I've heard those were a bit of a problem. So my question is how the internals, because I expect this thing to be full of dust. It's a 9-year-old computer. I expect it to have some dust. There's another little mark right there on the door. We're gonna go ahead and pull the latch, and we're gonna pop open the inside. Oh wow, it's actually in incredible shape. It's got 2 sticks of RAM already, and it's got 1 hard drive bay, which I'm not quite sure if it has anything in it. That's locked. Don't know how to get these out. I'm new to this whole Mac thing. So we've got 2 hard drive caddies. I'm gonna tilt it forward a little bit. Yep, it does have a hard drive in it. It has a 5770 in it. Looks fantastic. I mean, it's a single CPU unit. We have 1 dust bunny, a lone dust bunny. So 1 dust bunny in this thing. You guys can't even actually see this. Here we go. So that's the inside of it, and like I said, it's incredibly clean. Like I said, I was expecting this to be dust filled, so really good. So we're gonna go ahead and close this back up. Go ahead and match that. So this is it. This is my new editing rig, and it's probably, so far, just by looking at it, it's the most aesthetically pleasing computer I've ever owned. I've owned mainly laptops. This is actually my first desktop. I'll show you my current laptop, which I've used to edit pretty much every video until this point. And that is my 2017 ROG GL553VE. This has a 7th gen i7 in it, a 1050 Ti. Pretty stout computer. I have been running into some serious graphical errors in the last year. So I retired it from Premiere because it wouldn't boot Premiere. And it has slowed down drastically in gaming over the last few months. I can still game on it as much as I want. I can still run Forza at 60 to 100 FPS. That's pretty much it. I can't run Beam, which is my favorite game, BeamNG Drive. I do plan on getting emulators on both of these computers. This for one for portable stuff, and this one is my main emulator rig kind of deal. I'm going to run probably Dolphin, if I had to guess, because I do have a few GameCube games. And pretty much, if you don't know the legal way to play emulators, it's to own a physical copy of the game. So I own a physical copy of Smash Bros. Melee and a physical copy of Mario Sunshine. I'll probably run some emulators so I could upscale into 1080p and get Melee online, so I can like how the professional Smash players use it, so I can play with Hayden on the Mac. So as long as it supports Mac, I'm not sure if Dolphin even supports Mac. I have to do some research. But as far as that goes, I do need a Wi-Fi card because this one is not the upgraded Wi-Fi system with the upgraded Wi-Fi. So as far as I know, I don't know really a lot about this computer. All I knew was that it had a 3.2 gigahertz processor and a 5770. Besides that, I really don't know a lot about it. So what we're going to do is in a few minutes, well, it'll be a few seconds for you guys, but for a few minutes for me, my sister is outside in the main living room, which is where the Ethernet cable is. So I'm going to hook it up to Ethernet, bring my keyboard out there, which I haven't even shown you guys. What am I doing? So my friend Hayden, who a lot of you guys haven't seen on this channel, unless you're subscribed to RT, to Roast Tires, he left me this keyboard to use. It's his old one. I don't remember if I already showed this in the video. I think I showed it at the end of the Florida trip finale on the Roast Tires channel, but this is my, a keyboard. It's a Windows keyboard, but Windows keyboards work fine in Mac OS, so we're going to use this temporarily until I can get a hold of a actual Mac mechanical wireless keyboard, once I can upgrade the Bluetooth in the system as well, because so far as I know, it doesn't have Bluetooth. So we're going to move over to the front room, and we're going to get it hooked up and get it set up with Mac OS and all that. So let's hop into it. So of course with my luck, something has to go wrong, and I researched the 5770 before I bought this computer, and I was under the assumption that it would show up with an HDMI port from the graphics card, and if you guys aren't able to tell, it doesn't. So I'm about to go run to Office Max. Me and my dad are going to, because Mother's Day is tomorrow, so we gotta get some stuff for my mom, of course. So I went ahead and plugged it up to the power, and we're gonna at least verify that the Mac Pro turns on. I'm probably not going to let it sit the entire time we're gone. So when I get back, I can do initial setup and all that, since it doesn't have anything hooked up to it right now. No keyboard, no mouse, no anything. I'm actually going to take the mouse off my laptop setup in here. and just interchange it between the two, and so I can get like a cheap mouse for this one that's wireless, because I do need wireless stuff for this. I'm very particular in what keyboard I want to get with this, so I'm not going to buy that at Office Max today, but with my next paycheck, I'll probably buy the keyboard and mouse I want. So, without further ado, let's hit our little power button here. Oh. That's the first time I've ever heard a Mac startup chime. Heard the fans went wild as soon as I touched that button. So, yeah, this is cool. There's the hard drive spinning up. This is awesome. I love this thing already, and I can't wait to get back from Office Max with the stuff I need to hook it up to my TV. So I'm probably going to need Ethernet for initial setup, but then I'll hook up my USB stuff on the back, because I'm going to hook up my DVI adapter on the back and my wireless thing on the back as well. I looked up a specific one people are using on Hackintosh for this, because I need something that was compatible with macOS 10.13, which is what this runs. So I guess we'll pop open the latch and see what the internals look like spinning up. So one thing I'm surprised about is how quiet this thing runs. I mean, now that it's booted up and it's like not spamming the fans as loud as possible, so quiet. But yeah, here's our hard drive. That's the one that it's currently using. And our 5770 is spinning up. Oh gosh, it's cold in here. That's not bad. So yeah, I mean, it's working fantastically, and it like seems to be alright. So yeah, unfortunately that graphics card does not have HDMI out, but no biggie. It's gonna have a 580 or something like that in it eventually, which is gonna be perfect, because that's exactly what I wanted to put in this thing to begin with. But yeah, I don't see any like Wi-Fi cards in here or anything. I forget where they are. I'm not gonna like mess with the internals while it's on, obviously. So hard drive's making some noise. But we're gonna go ahead and shut the door and pop the latch back down. Alright guys, so I just got the Office Max. First time driving my truck in a minute, and this is my car channel, but had fun with it. I mean, it's fun to be back in it. But anyway, I'm gonna go inside Office Max, get this stuff, and we'll walk right back out and get back home to the Mac. Alright, so I'm back from Office Max. We've got our DVI adapter hooked up to our HDMI here. So that's good to go. I'm about to hook up the TP-Link T150 Nano Wi-Fi receiver. So it's got Mac support, which was like the big thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera, and then we're gonna get ready to do initial setup on the Mac. So yeah, give me just a second and we'll be ready to rock. Alright, so I got initial setup going on. I'm gonna quickly do this, and we'll come back in a moment when macOS is up and running. I just want to show you guys the boot up. It took a minute, but it's up. So yeah, I'm gonna knock this out. I'm gonna come back to you guys when it's up, and I'm gonna download a couple things for it, because it does need a few things. And it's great that it's wiped, so that means it's a fresh install. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock that out. Alright everyone, so I got everything hooked up in my room. This thing actually does have Wi-Fi, which is really annoying, unless that's the thing at work, because I was able to go straight through the Wi-Fi menu and set it up there. So currently we're downloading Premiere Pro on this thing, which is primarily why I got this. But I wanted to point something out that the seller pretty much lied about, and that was that this computer, there's two things that they lied about this Mac would demonstrate. They said the computer is running High Sierra, which it is not. It is running 10.12. Which is standard Sierra, and is actually I think it's one of the first builds of 10.12. They did have the processor right. It is a 3.2 gigahertz Intel Xeon quad core, but the graphics card is wrong. On the ad, it showed as a 5770, not a 4870. So as half the graphic memory that it was advertised, which means it's definitely going to need a upgraded graphics card. And I'm kind of frustrated about that, because I was told it was going to have a 1 gig card, and 1 gig cards are, they're 1 gig cards. They're not meant for gaming. And I knew darn well I wasn't going to be running, CSGO or anything at 60 FPS on this computer. But I'm very frustrated by the fact that they gave me a card that they didn't tell me about that was half the graphical memory. So it is much worse than I thought it would be.
It explains why everything's slow, because it is a little bit slow to like load like graphics card intensive stuff. So I mean that's disappointing. I'm not gonna like fight about it. It's not worth the trouble. And I don't want to send this computer back because I like it and it's in good shape. So I guess I'm probably gonna try to source a 5770 somewhere, or and run dual GPUs, or I'll like just have to upgrade it a little bit earlier. So it'll run Premiere Pro. Obviously, it's letting me install it, and I've seen these things run with 5770s on them, which is below the recommended 2 gigabytes of VRAM. So this is obviously a quarter of that. So it's probably still going to run. It's probably just not going to run very well. And I wasn't able to get the sound working because this DVI adapter doesn't support HDMI sound. So currently the sound is coming through the Mac's internal speaker, which is hot garbage and very quiet. As I shall now demonstrate, I'm going to go to Safari. I think I messed up the tab open. I'm going to go back to YouTube here. So I already signed into my YouTube account and everything on this thing. So yeah, I saw it was a little bit on the slow side, but we're going to boot up. Let's watch Nate Rider, since he's here. I watch a lot of Mustang YouTubers, in case you didn't know.
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help. This sentence
So
is grammatically correct.
I can talk over the speaker. It's so quietly. It's so quiet. So yeah, I mean, that's as loud as it gets. It's full blast. So it is not a very quiet. It's not a loud computer by any means. But, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. At least I can hear it, so not too upset. But I'm going to have to be, like, very quiet whenever I'm editing videos and hear it until I can get something figured out. So, yeah, I just thought I'd point that out. And also I had to do a lot of, like, scaling work. Come on, you little turd. It was just fine earlier, now it's just like, nope, not gonna do this. Oh, there we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and just minimize that. So I had to do a lot of scaling because it was fighting me a little bit to scale to the screen. So it's currently running in what display setting? It's in 1080p, but it's 1080p with overscan turned off, so that way it will hold like this image so I can see the entire thing. So if I turn overscan on, here's the problem I'm having. I can't see the top, and the bottom little dock down there is covered up, so I turned overscan off. That way I can see out of it. So I'm gonna just sit with that at 1080, at 1080p, or just at default display. It's the same thing. They're both that. So we also have options for 1600 by 900, which I can see a little bit better, which is funny, than 1080. But 1080 fits the screen better, so I mean maybe not. Actually, yeah, I think the bezel sizes are a little bit different. The little black parts of the screen are a little bit different. So yeah, we're just gonna leave it in 1080, even though I have a harder time seeing with it. But yeah, that's the problem I'm having. It's not fitting my screen all the way, so that's disappointing. But it's whatever. I made it work and it's comfortable. And I think it's more just the adapter I picked up because it's just a little DVI to HDMI adapter. It's not like a Mac certified or whatever adapter. So that's that. We're probably going to try to update it to High Sierra in this video as well. I know this video is already really long, but we're going to try to get it updated to High Sierra once I finish this installing Premiere.
Alright guys, so High Sierra is on the Mac, as you guys can see now. I'm also finalizing the last few things I need to transfer over to it from my Dropbox folder, which is pretty much ran entirely on my laptop over there, which is still running a full scan. So far, nothing's changed, and there's nothing strange happening with it. It is running just like how it was before the whole mess up happened. So laptop's fine, no worries. But the Mac Pro, let's talk about it for a second. So besides the fact that it was advertised with a 5770 and it has a 4870 in it, and it was advertised for High Sierra already, and it's running just Sierra, I'm really happy with the purchase. And I already had intentions of swapping graphics cards in this thing anyway, so the 4870 isn't that much of a big deal. It is annoying because I would have liked to have known that up front, but I guess that's just something to look out for when you're buying these refurbished Mac Pro sight unseen. So, would I say do this? It really just depends on what you're going for. The only reason I bought this one was because it had a 3.2 gigahertz Xeon. All the other ones either didn't have hard drives or were really weak compared to it. We're running like 2.4, 2.6, 2.8. I wanted to get as fast as I could. And yeah, I kind of took a hit obviously with a 4870 in it. And obviously the Wi-Fi speeds aren't that great. It took about 30 minutes to download 3 video files for one of the unfinished videos for this channel I haven't uploaded yet, which I will be, hopefully, now that I have this rig going. It's hard to do because especially since I focus a lot on the main channel, RT1 as I like to call it on here. So yeah, I don't spend a lot of time with this channel that much, so that's why I'm like, doing my best. But yeah, this is the editing rig, a 2010 Mac Pro. Was it worth buying it sight unseen? Absolutely. Despite the 2 major drawbacks, which were the lying about the OS and the lying with the graphics card, everything works as it should. It's incredibly clean, and it's in incredibly good shape for its age. I expected this thing to come dented and scratched and wrecked for just my luck in general. Paying $385 online and not seeing any pictures of this thing at all. And I'm very happy. I mean, it's in great shape, and it's going to be a very welcomed piece of equipment to the lineup here. So in case you're new to the channel, I'm going to walk you guys quickly through my setup before I shut down for the night and stop talking to this camera because this is a long video as it is. So we have 1997 and 64, 2018 Nintendo Switch, 2018 Sega Genesis at-game system, my 2010 Mac Pro, which you guys now know is the newest edition. I think it's like a 2006, 2005, somewhere in there, or like the mid-2000s. PS2, 2017, Xbox One. I don't know the date on that one, and I don't know the date on that one. NES and GameCube. I also have a Game Boy Color, a Game Boy Advance, which is in the little GameStop pouch right there, which was one of the first videos I did in the refresh. The Switch is in that little Pokeball case over there. My 3DS XL, my 2011 3DS XL is over there in the Palkia case. And I also have a PSP lying around somewhere. I haven't found it, but I also have my 2017 ROG GL553VE, which has been the main rig for, well, since I got it in 2017. And it wouldn't run Premiere anymore, which is why I bought this. So it's a big expensive fix for a small problem. But I really wanted one of these, and the time came. And obviously, I'm not going to be buying anything else like this in the next few months. If you guys already pay attention to my main channel, I'm saving up money to work on my trucks some more. Because I'm trying to like even out the content here, new content for these channels. I want RT2 to be focused on mainly game stuff now. I want to actually start doing more gaming videos, not just like buying PCs and buying consoles and stuff like that. I want to be able to actually put gameplay video. I actually have one that I just transferred over to the Mac to be edited. I filmed this with my friend Hayden about a month ago, 2 months ago. So I'll be editing that here very soon and uploading that to RT2 as soon as I can, as soon as I get done with this Mac video, because I want this video to come out first so you guys can see it in all of its ginormous glory. I thought about moving everything into my desk and switching the setups and moving my wheel setup out somewhere, and because I can't play Beam anymore either on the laptop. So that was the only game I used the wheel on. So that's what's made me think about putting the Mac in the office. But unfortunately, this thing's too big to fit in my desk. So it's going to have to stay out here because it's just too big. So all I said, hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to stay tuned for more videos here on this channel as well. If you aren't already, subscribe to my main channel. If you like cars and vlogs, be sure to go check out that channel. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.